Hi, welcome to Truck Sim Diaries. In this video series, I record my Euro Truck Simulator 2 gameplay, and I use it as a backdrop for my unscripted thoughts on what's going on in my life and the world around me. Sometimes I will have a lot to say, and sometimes I will just comment on the gameplay, and sometimes I will just be quiet. Either way, I'm glad you're here, so let's take a look at where we are and where we're going today. And where we are is a hotel parking lot in the outskirts of London. And London, true to its form, or United Kingdom, true to its form, is raining. And we're going to take a look at some export statistics for the United Kingdom and what we're going to transport today. So we're going to pull up the United Kingdom on the OEC website. That is the Observation of Economic Complexity, if I'm not misremembering. Now, the United Kingdom is a geographically pretty small country, I suppose. But looking at the product export, it's 429 billion. It's ranked 14 out of the 226 countries that are in this ranking. This is 2023 numbers. Product imports is 743 billion. So they import more than they export. And it kind of figures. I have no previous knowledge about this stuff, so I'm learning just as much as you are. So let's take a look here. Top exports of the United Kingdom were gold, cars, gas turbines, silver, commodities not elsewhere specified, and I guess that's kind of a general category. Don't really know what it means. Meanwhile, the top imports of the United Kingdom were gold. So the biggest export is gold and biggest import is gold. Cars, which is also their second largest export. Petroleum gas, commodities not elsewhere specified, and crude petroleum. All right, let's scroll down. Take a look at what we got here. What's relevant for us. So we're going to filter. These are the exports, and these are this. Over to the right here, we see the destinations for those exports, and we are only in Europe, so we're going to filter for Europe only. Now, like I said, I don't have any previous knowledge about the United Kingdom or what they produce and export. Well, I guess this one, hard liquor. I may not reach 10.3 billion US dollars, but I do import quite a lot of hard liquor from the United Kingdom, especially Scotch whiskey. Unfortunately, we don't have hard liquor as a cargo in Euro Truck Simulator. So let's take a look at the big ones. Let's filter by percent. And again, filter by Europe. And, well, cars is the largest export at 8.25%. And gold is the second largest. And then gas turbines. Now, here we got HS2, HS4, and HS6. That is kind of the details of the categories. So HS4, that is kind of in between. Look at what happens when I filter by HS2. It goes into a broader category of things. Like, it's not gold, it's precious stones, metals, and pearls. It is not gas turbine engines, it's machinery, mechanical appliances, and parts. So HS4 is what we were looking at. And we can also go to HS6. Now, HS, as in HS2, HS4, and HS6, stands for Harmonized Systems. And it's not really self-explanatory, but I guess it just means the continuous category of goods. Now, if we go into a more specified, the more specified filter HS6, here we can see that what kind of machinery, what kind of cars, and what kind of gold we're looking at here. Yeah, for the hard liquor, we got the whiskeys. That's yeah, that's my jam. This is my thing. I am a part of these 2% for sure. Now, as far as gold is concerned, semi-manufactured, non-monetary gold, and I assume that means kind of gold that's used for electronics, computers, stuff like that. And as for the machinery, it's turbojet engines of a thrust larger than 25 kilonewton. And that would be plane engines, I suppose. Because I know they are a large producer of plane engines. And then when it comes to vehicles, other vehicles including gas turbine powered, large sized cars, medium sized cars, this only has 1.32%. That's what we're going to be carrying today. But yeah, I thought it'd be kind of fun to take a look at this. Oh, let's see where we're taking our cars then. Export of cars, 8.25%. Going to Germany. We just came from Germany, so we're not going to go there. We're going to go to Italy instead. Pretty interesting, huh? Yeah, let's hop back to the truck. Now, when it comes to what kind of cars the United Kingdom exports, I assume look like they have a lot of luxurious sports cars. But I would, and like when it comes to pure numbers, I don't think that like the Aston Martins are very high. I could be wrong though. I assume though it's gonna be Land Rovers, though they sure are luxurious cars, and also Mini and MG. Anyway, we're gonna pick up these cars. We're gonna take them to Taranto, Italy. And it's gonna be a pretty long drive. So yeah, let's boot it up and let's get to it. And hopefully the weather will clear out, as I am not a huge fan of driving in the rain or rain in general. And I gotta remember to drive on the left side of the road here. And today is Saturday. I have just come out of the shower. We had I live in a house with my wife and kids. And yeah, today was spring cleaning day. And man, I gotta be completely honest with you, I did not feel like I did not fucking feel like it at all. Jesus Christ, I work with my body. I'm an electrician, so I work with my body every day, 8 hours a day. Carrying stuff, fixing stuff, climbing up and down ladders, lifting things, just crawling around like a monkey sometimes. So I burn a lot of calories, so to speak, every day at work. And like weekends for me, they're about, rest, catching up, but most importantly, rest. Like being able to I am 42 years old, so like shit, man, I need to sit still for a little bit. So having to you know, having to put on the work clothes again, go out, carry stuff. I climbed up a tree, saw off branches, get rid of the branches, fucking just... I didn't feel like it at all. But, like with most things that I don't feel like doing, for the most part, you know, it's perfectly fine once, you know, once I get there. It's just the build-up. It's, you know, do you know what I mean? And I can tell that my kids, they have this too, like, the mornings are rough, especially for my daughter. And the mornings are rough for me too. Though I am a morning person, I would rather, you know, theoretically at least, I want to be up early and get the, you know, get the most out of the day or whatever. But, yeah, it can be hard at times. And, like, it's... My daughter's 9, so I try to explain it to her that... Like, I know, baby. It hurts for me too. But so yeah, today, yeah, it ended up being a good day. I got my closest neighbor. I haven't had a chance to talk to him for a pretty long time. I really like him, and we got to spend some time together. Take care of the trees, and like, so it was spring cleaning day for the common areas of the neighborhood, kinda.
Go straight on.
And yeah, it was good. And the good thing about being used to work a lot is that it's not very hard, you know, because I'm so used to it. But man, today I really wanted to just stay at home, stay inside, sit by the PC for a bit. I am doing that now, so it all turned out okay. But man, going outside the door, I almost felt like I wanted to cry a little bit.
Keep right, and then turn right.
But it was okay.
Turn right.
Oh shit, turned right. It's a good thing it's early morning and not much traffic out, because I am driving like a jackass here. Fuck, it's left. Oh, God. This is so confusing to me. I thought I would be better at left lane, kinda.
Keep left.
And then we're gonna turn left here by the traffic lights. I wonder why they make double traffic lights. This is to really hammer it down that it is green or red? Like, why would you want to have two? And also, I'm a bit nervous because I am going to redo that reverse, the backing up job I did when we're going to pick up the cars from the same, like from the same location that we dropped it off last time. And I am a little bit nervous because last time I think I did it with like a 57-point turn, and I really want to do it better today. So we'll see. I feel a little confident. Not too confident, but a little. I think I can do better.
Keep left.
But I can kind of see why they complain so much, or like why they complain so much about the UK being in a little bad shape. It's yeah, man, these models and these textures, like, this is not the best thing I've ever seen. Gotta be honest with you. I mean, this was like golden standard 10 years ago. This was fantastic, but 10 years has passed, so I think it's due for an update for sure. And from what I know from SCS Software, they will at some point, like they're redoing a lot of their old stuff, so naturally they will redo the United Kingdom as well, and I think when they do, they're gonna make it the best. I'm sure. Next up is, I'm really looking forward to the next update because it's gonna be northern Scandinavia, and that's where I live, so that's where I live, that's where I was born. So I'm looking forward to that a lot, and I look forward to, you know, as you can tell, I've been avoiding that part of Europe so far because it's in kind of like it's a little bit the same, you know, as this. It's okay, but it's
Keep left,
when the new one,
and then turn left.
new version of it comes out, it is going to be great. I've seen some screenshots, like they share, you know, updates or whatever, and it looks really good. So I look forward to that a lot, and we're going to do a tour of northern Scandinavia together, and I'm going to show you.
At the roundabout, take
show
the
you
third
everything.
exit.
We've done this before, and we're going to go there through here, and this is a four-way roundabout with traffic lights inside the roundabout, and traffic's going into the roundabout. Traffic lights. Because for some reason, that's good. Okay, let's see. This is, we can turn, yeah, we'll be here. He's exiting, so we'll be in the center lane. Do you remember what he's transporting? 30-1202? So, 3 in the top, 30 in the top. The 3 stands for flammable, and the 0 stands for nothing more. And 1202, that is the code for diesel. It's flammable, but it's not super flammable. Now, if this was 1203 instead, that'd be gasoline. Then the warning code would be 33 to denote that it's flammable.
Exit
Flammable,
now.
which means twice the flammable, I suppose. I fucking love the UN code for the hazardous goods. But we have nice weather. The rain has stopped, even though I am still running my windshield wipers like a maniac. I was listening to the radio, and there's this guy who talks at the radio in the mornings in Sweden. I really love him. He was talking about how he was going to overtake a car that he thought was going too slow on the highway. And he was kind of being a little bit of a jerk, I suppose. You know, show someone that you really want to overtake. They were apparently going in the left lane a little too slow. So he was flashing his lights, and he said that he ran his headlights in the highest setting.
We are finished.
And that alone was pretty fun. Just the idea of someone running their running their windshield wipers, even though it's not raining. Anyway, the car that he was trying to get to move over all of a sudden lit up in flashing blue lights. And I almost felt ashamed because, you know, secondary shame, because I I I could have done the same thing. And like when it did something like that, you would just kind of, you know how Homer Simpson just backs into the bushes and kind of just disappears. Like, okay, well, you know, I'll get out of here. It's fine. Yeah. All right, this is a moment of truth. Let's get out and look. We need to back. First thing I'm gonna do is just try to get the truck straight, facing here. This is a really hard. This is a really hard backing. But I think we can do it. And now using the front mirror to get as close as possible to the car in front of us without touching it. Now that's close enough. Yeah, here we go. And now to turn it all around again. Without crashing into any of the cars. Okay. Let's get out and look again. We're gonna do one more pull-up towards the kind of the front of that blue car over there, and then we could kind of reverse it into the spot. I should probably do this, just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again. I wonder how few points you could do this turn, theoretically. Oh, this is a problem. Can't turn anymore. I got a good feeling. I need to correct it, but still, man. If I could just pull it. Oh, if I could just pull it to the side. Last time I did this, at this point, my brakes were already screaming for pressure because I had depleted all the brake pressure just doing all the corrections. So even though this is not very good, I am very, very happy with this. How much brake pressure do you think I've left? Let's take a look. Oh, we are really good. Yeah. You know what? I am happy with it. Good job, me. Alright, let's load out the cargo. Alright, cargo has been loaded. Let's step outside and take a look. So, Great Britain has Land Rovers, Minis, MGs. I'm sure I'm forgetting something big. But unfortunately, we don't have that kind of cargo. We have this. So this is like, what are these? These are Dacias or something? The SUV, or SUVs. The 4x4 utility vehicles up front. Not really Land Rover priced. And what is this below? I don't recognize this model at all. It's like some older Kia or something. So we're going to call the top ones Land Rovers, even though they are Dacias or some Soviet model. And we're going to call the lower ones, let's call them MGs. So we're gonna take these Land Rovers and MGs to Italy because they like them so much.
Let's do this.
Let's take a look at how long we are going. We got 2,330 kilometers until we were there. Fuel is low, less than a fourth, so we need to refuel pretty soon. We got 638 kilometers left, so we may even be able to get out of the United Kingdom before we need to refuel. In-game time says that the ETA is going to be 32 hours and 15 minutes. Real world time, it's estimated at 1 hour and 42 minutes, and I know for a fact it is always going to take a lot longer than that, and you do too. But you know, that just gives us more time together. Let's go. I am so happy with this reverse. I'm going to come back to this and practice it and see if I can do it in like less than 10 points. I don't know how many I did it now. Maybe you can count it for me. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think I did good. Don't you think, Raul? He's looking at me like you're a goddamn moron.
Turn right.
Still no traffic, even though it's 6:35 in the morning. So we're gonna take our whole new level of confidence and these 6 tons of cars. And we're gonna get out of here. Normally, I record this when I am alone
Take the third exit.
because I'm very self-aware when I am recording this. But now my family's home. My wife is right next to me, and I'm like red-faced embarrassed because I'm sitting here virtually talking to myself, even though I'm talking to you. But I am talking to myself. Stop practicing. And, you know, it's like I talked about earlier that, you know, it's an emotion that I am a little scared of. Therefore, I was thinking, like, I was pretty upset because I haven't had any time to record. Not because I don't have the hours of the day,
Exit now.
but because I wasn't able to come to work it out with doing it while no one else is home. And it's not like I can, you know, not gonna ask my family to leave or anything. So I got two choices: not record, which is boring, or record while they're home, which is scary. So here I am doing scary things again. It's the weekly emotional
Keep left,
challenge.
and then exit left. Exit left. Keep left.
We're allowed to drive this truck in 97 kilometers per hour here, which is insanely fast. It is 7 kilometers faster than the truck will even go. And I just think that I'm used to 80, so I think 90 is crazy. Because you don't have time if something happens. That's scary to me. I guess it's 97 because this road would be a 60 mile per hour road. I haven't really been looking at the street signs, I'm just trusting the GPS. So the way it works here is that you see the speed limit here in on the GPS thing, and that is the truck speed limit. Now, the road could be, you know, in Sweden our max speed for a road is 120 kilometers, but that's only for cars. Trucks have different rules, different speed limits. So thankfully, this GPS unit, it can show me the truck speed limit, so I don't have to look so much at the signs. And here I am, so this is left lane traffic. And here I am in the right lane. I should be in the left lane because I assume since everything's the other way around, like overtake lanes should be on the right hand side because everything is backwards. I think maybe it would make more sense if I had a right side, like if steering wheel is on the right hand side. But who the fuck would want to live like that? Work-wise, yesterday I was at my favorite client's house. Him and his wife are such great people. They're old. They're 80 plus. But they are so very kind. And she made me orange marmalade and cheese sandwiches.
Keep right.
She's so lovely. And I have been working for them for first time was almost 10 years ago. Maybe 8 years ago. And they're getting older. They won't be around forever. And I'm really sad about that. Like, he's getting old, man. And it's so weird because, you know, they treat you like a friend. Well, ask me to, like, take the kids, bring the kids over, come say hi, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I want to, or do I? I don't know. But I really should.
Keep left, and then exit left. Exit left.
Okay, let's see. Channel tunnel. Welcome to Eurotunnel. So last time, did we take the ferry or the tunnel? I don't remember. I think we took the
Caution.
ferry, right?
Please watch the speed limit.
Or were we in the tunnel? Anyway, now we're going to take the tunnel.
Keep left, and then turn left.
And in the Eurotunnel, between Dover and Calais, you don't drive through a
Turn
tunnel.
left.
You load your vehicle on a train, and the train drives through the tunnel. Ain't that pretty goddamn cool? I don't have a gate. They have gates. Do I just keep going? I guess I keep going. Okay. So Freja Transports, the Swedish transport company. I recognize this from way back. I don't know if they still exist. I think they do, but I haven't seen one of those in forever.
Exit right.
Hey, he's honking back there. It's not going to make it go any faster.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
Well, let's go right. I am so confused right now. Like both in game and in real life, when it's funneling traffic like this, and you have to pick, and you get there's no way to change it after you've made your decision. Like, I would have been fine either way. Like both leads to the same spot, but
A new route.
Jesus, yeah, it can make you nervous for sure.
Never mind. I'll find a new route. Rerouting. Okay, let's find a new route.
Sometimes you have to be a little patient with the GPS system in the game. It's like all of us, it's not without its flaws. But you do not just drive up to the train. It is quite the process. First time I did this, I promised that I would never, never do it again. I wasn't very... I just wanted to hit the road, you know? This one is just a roll by. Well, let's roll by. Bunch of different cargoes going on the train. Do I go? Yeah, I go right. Now going through the tunnel is it's about as uneventful as going on the ferry or sleeping or loading cargo. It's just gonna be like, say, traveling or something like that.
Go straight on.
Now, first time I did this was so confusing. You can see where he's going into the thing. We're gonna go into that thing here, the cage thing. First time I did this, no other trucks. They weren't driving like this. I couldn't see what they were doing, so I was like, "Where do I go? Like, do I go into the train here? Do I go on the asphalt here on the side? But it ends. Like, do I go here? What do I do?" So I had to go out. Yeah, just figure it out. And I think you can see this. No, you can't even see the symbol. It was far away, maybe. Anyway, we're going in here. And I don't know what this is, because this is not the train. The train is here. The gray thing. But this is... This is just a cage. I mean, I guess it's to make sure that whatever can drive through here will fit on the train, but I don't know. There are so many dividers, lanes, things to take care of. It feels so very European. Like, why do you do this? We don't know. to maintain order.
Recomputing.
Yeah, here we go. Here we can see the symbol, and now we're coming out of the... Now we're coming out of this thing. If you're a Eurotunnel specialist, please let me know why the fuck we have to do this. Why we can't just... What's with the cage? Just trucks in cages. Let's walk up, take a look. So, I guess we would load on to... Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know how this works. Somehow we would drive onto some train. It is a big mystery to me. Maybe it's a secret. Let's go. We are going... Oh, we're from Folkestone to Cali, sorry. 35 minutes for 300 euros.
Reroute.
Now we're finally back to civilization.
Okay, let's find a new
European
route.
mainland. We're just gonna find our way out of here and drive on the right hand side for the rest of this glorious experience. please drive on the right side of the road? Yes, thank you. I would love to.
Turn right.
Hey, what do you think is the best way to lose a door? My guys. They did not take their risk analysis properly.
Caution. Please mind the speed limit.
Now, orange
Taranto,
and green also
take the
means
second
something.
exit.
I'm not sure what. Oh, maybe we can figure it out up there.
Exit now.
Yeah, let's do it in French. Non-customs ready to UK. That is not, we're not going to UK. So what are we then? Are we orange? Non-customs ready
on.
to UK. What? I mean, we're not going to UK, so I guess we're orange? What is this GPS thinks? It's a little hard to tell, but it says left, so let's trust her. I trust her. Let's try left. Maybe it's more than that.
Turn
New
right.
non-customs, that's us? Or are we? Oh, we get off here. Yeah, that's right.
Turn right.
So we go into the same lane as orange? Kinda? This is also very confusing to me. A huge sleeping parking lot to the left here. Calais,
Keep
Brussels, Cologne, Paris. Keep left, yeah. There's concrete in the way. Can't keep right. Looks like a prison.
left. Keep left.
Oh shit, these... The fuck? Okay, we'll go slow. Yeah, I remember when I said, oh, I'm never doing this again. And I can see that again. I'm never doing this again. Calais sucks. Look at my disco ball. It's going crazy. Jesus. Why would you? Why would you do that? Offended by a road.
Caution. Please watch the speed limit.
So my daughter is gonna spend the night at her friend's. It's just across the street, but I'm not fully prepared for my kids growing up. It's just gonna be me, and my wife's going away. She's leaving me again, just for the night, but leaving me nonetheless. No, I'm kidding. She's gonna go see some friends, celebrate one of her friends' birthdays, or whatever. So it's just gonna be me and my son. I think we're gonna take the time and go for takeout pizza. We are the only two who likes that. So, you know.
Keep right.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. That's gonna be great, just him and me. So, I spent some time on Reddit. I spent a lot of time on Reddit. I feel like the internet has become this huge monster that is out of control. And I'm starting to feel old. Because it's just shallow commercial dog shit online when it comes to all the social medias, such as well, Facebook, Instagram. And Instagram is kind of where I stepped off the goddamn nightmare ride that's the internet. I for my entire life, I've loved the internet. I've been like
Caution. Please mind the speed limit.
internet's biggest supporter. Like, I was, like I said, I'm 42. I'm 40 plus. 42 years old. And my first interaction with the internet, or what will become the internet, was dial-up bulletin board systems. You would basically, this was a text-based service, and your computer could call another computer. And if another person also called that computer, you could type to each other and send files to each other. And it took, so it was, like I said, it was dial-up. So you had a house phone, and that phone is what used what was basically the internet. So if someone tried to call you, while you were online, they would get a busy tone. And if someone picked the phone up, it would disconnect your internet. Like, and you could dial up, you could get numbers to these different, cops. So you would call this text, you could use this text-based program to call up another computer so that you could send and receive files to each other. And this was like, man, this was 1994, 92. I was like 10 or 12, somewhere around that. And it took like, I am not kidding, it took like 20 minutes to
Keep right.
to
And then
download
turn right.
a picture of a naked woman, which of course is what was the purpose of
Turn
everything.
right.
Oh shit, this is my exit. Here I am thinking about naked ladies. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about this. And of course I was hooked, like, on the thought of just being connected to something else. Like, I didn't have too many friends when I was a kid. I've always been a bit of a weirdo. Still am. Only difference is that I'm fucking proud of it now. But anyway, yeah, and then it just fucking took off. Like, and it just became better. Faster. More people. More pictures of naked women. You know, more games. Anything you could imagine was like, was right there. And I remember, like, so I'm born in the northern Sweden, and my mother, she's from even further up north. And her mother, my grandmother, just like, we are here with what we have going on now in 2025. My mother is the third child out of 5 that my grandmother and grandfather got. And it's like, when you got third child, they got a car. So before that, they were, you know, horsebound. It was just a different world, you know? So of course she's old-timey, in a good way, but old-timey nonetheless. And I remember when we talked about the internet, and she said, in Swedish of course, but she said to me, like, in what basically amounts to the internet is malicious. I was like, sure, grandmother, you know, rolling my eyes. I'm like, I am downloading Bone Thugs and Harmony from Kazaa. Yeah, sure, it's malicious. I'm having the time of my fucking life with the future. Yeah, Grandma, okay, let's get you to bed. That was basically... Oh, is this a fuel station? No. Damn. We need fuel because we got 272 kilometers till empty. Anyway, the time went on and my grandmother was right all along. Like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ, could we just... I'm losing faith in it. Because it's all just generated... AI generated dog shit content. Like, oh, I lingered on a photo of a moth while I sneezed. Here are some naked moths, or whatever. Like, look, this is fuel. Now, where I was going with this is basically Reddit. Because Reddit, even though Reddit has, like, it has its, just like the internet as a whole, it has its bad places. But for the most part, Reddit is more like an old discussion forum. Oh, there's a line forming behind us. Sorry, I'll fuel and get on my way. So I like to hang out on Reddit because that might also be just AI generated dog shit content, but at least I can't tell. I mean, I think we both know who was to blame there. Not saying it wasn't me. I'm just saying it was him. So, Reddit. It is the only way I know how to reach what feels to me like real people having real conversations without, having real conversations and not just spewing fucking hate everywhere. Like, Facebook is just, Jesus Christ, dude, no. And the rest is just comments on posts.
Caution. Please mind the speed.
Why is it 50 here? And why isn't everyone else going 50? Is it the lane?
Keep right.
Oh, I need to keep right. Gotta say thank you for your patience. But yeah, Reddit is real people having real conversations that you can, take part in and learn from. Like, just listen. It's like listening in on a conversation. And like I said, I know that there are bad places too on Reddit, which is, hate-fueled dog shit content with people only agreeing on that someone else is the problem or whatever. But there are too many good places there for me to not use it. Now, one of the things that I like to do, and I figured that we could do here, is there are a couple different subreddits. So you kind of find your niche, kind of what topics you want to talk about. It's called in different subreddits.
Keep right. And then turn right. Turn right. Keep right, and then turn right.
So one of these subreddits, or multiple, are where people just talk about, life stuff. They share their thoughts and I guess, insecurities about things. And one of these subreddits that I like to frequent is the different subreddits of the different Ask Men categories. And it's kind of what it, you know, it's kind of what it sounds like. You can just ask men, and men will answer, or ask men over 40. Now, I thought it would be fun is to take up a couple of these questions that are posted in these subreddits and just, kind of talk about it. Sounds like fun? Yeah, I think it sounds like fun. So first question is, when do you have time to work out with family and a career? And this is a huge topic for me. I could both ask this question and answer it, because like I said, I work, I have a very physically demanding job. I carry heavy things, lift heavy things. I work in uncomfortable positions. I'm an electrician, so most of my work is done either low on the ground or high up in the ceiling. On ladders. Or, sitting down. So I need to stay in shape for work, because if I don't,
Go straight on.
work is gonna take a heavy toll on my body. It does, already. When it comes to, how exhausted I can be, after work week. So what I do is I work out to stay in shape. I also want to stay in shape because I want to be in good shape for my kids. It's not only to keep myself from, falling apart because of work. But also because I want to be in good shape. I want to be able to throw my kids around. I also, I also want to look good for my wife and for me. So, so I try to stay in shape. And finding the time to do this is not easy. Because when am I going to do this? What I do is I skip lunch. And I don't skip lunches and I don't eat. I just don't take a 45 minutes to an hour where I just sit down. I don't feel that I need it. And if I do, my body kind of goes into hybrid. It's like, all right, we're sleeping. So I get so, if I take a long break, man, I'm not sure if I could get up after, if I'm going to be completely honest. I started this little experiment of mine when my son was starting daycare. I was home with him on paternity leave for about 10 months. Just him and me. And when it was time for him to start, daycare and me to go back to work, I didn't want him to stay for that many hours. So I started, working through the lunch and getting off an hour earlier, just to pick him up early.
Keep right.
And for me, that has been great. Because then I have the chance to, I have a chance to do the workout that I need to do to stay in shape. Without stressing too much, because the thing that wears me down the most is not working many hours. It's not working the 8 hours every day that I need to work. That's not a problem.
Caution.
The problem
Please
is
watch
that
the speed limit.
I need and want to do more things with my time. So 2 or 3 times a week, I do a strength routine. And I do calisthenics workout. That's push-ups, sit-ups, core strength exercise, and stuff like that. It doesn't make me muscular, but lean and very effective. And that's kind of how I want to keep it. And at the end of the day, it's just about priorities. And for me, it's also about discipline. Because I fucking hate doing it. I really don't like doing it. I would rather not when it comes to my day-to-day, you know. I would rather sit by the PC and
Keep right, and then exit right.
eat cookies or whatever. And that's where the kind of, I guess that's where the discipline comes in. It is current me doing future me a
Go
favor.
straight on. Caution. Please mind the speed.
And it's
Keep right.
to me, that's very rewarding. Because I feel good about doing it. I feel responsible, and I am accountable for the shape I'm in.
Keep left.
It is up to me and me alone. Now what I also do is I have gotten hobbies that keep me, that activates me. I do kayaking and mountain biking, running. Though running is not really a hobby, that's more something I do because it's a good way to work. It's a good workout, but yeah, man, it fucking sucks having to do it. It is stressful, but at the end of the day, you kind of have to do it for yourself and for the people around you, you know? I need to find some place to rest. My guy is getting tired. Do you hear the yawning? That is the player character, the driver character. He needs his rest. I need to rest within 1 hour and 39 minutes of in-game time. In-game time is a lot faster than real-world time. And it looks like we have a rest stop coming up here by this border crossing. So that's just perfect. We're gonna pull it over at the side here. We'll take the rightmost gate. I know that the rest stop is to the right on the other side of the the other side of the thing. And with time, like the question was, how do you have time? Well, the answer is I don't. I make time. You need to prioritize. You know, you need to just be honest about your priorities. Like what has to get done. And the workout absolutely has to get done. It is not about what I want to do. It is all about what I have to do. Alright, let's stop the engine. I'm gonna let my guy here get some rest. Let's step out and just take it all in for a little bit. But this border crossing looks like many other border crossings. So as you see, I like to step out of the truck like this. It's just the external camera just moving around, but to me it helps to kind of, you know, it's the level of immersion, I suppose. Also got to remember not to rush it. Yeah, let's get some rest. The rest is for 4 hours. It's the middle of the night. Woke up. What do you do when you work like this? You wake up in the middle of the night. Need to go take a leak. Would you do that here? Yeah, I guess I will be here. You know, some parts of this job seem so nice. It's like driving around, the freedom. I guess you also feel chained to the truck and just having to go to the bathroom in these. I wonder if they modeled this. No, they didn't. Anyway, we woke up in the middle of the night, had to go to the bathroom. Just traffic just keeps flowing 24/7, I suppose. We could use 4 hours more sleep until it's time to go. And at an early 3:27 in the morning, we've had a total of 8 or 9 hours of sleep, and it's time to get going. Let's take a look at the map. Let's take a look where we are. We're here by Metz in France. Come all this way. For here in London, crossed over to Calais. And we've got a bit of a ways to go. We're going to go through all these countries, and then we come into Italy. We're going to go all the way down here to Taranto. Right at the boot, right at the heel, the boot of Italy. So we've not gotten very far. We got maybe 2/3 of the way to go. We're rested, we were fueled. We got 1,562 kilometers to go. We need to refuel in 1,979 kilometers, so we could do the entire rest of the trip without refueling. ETA is in-game time 22 hours and 17 minutes. We need to rest in 13 hours and 57 minutes in-game time. That means we're going to have to do one more rest, so we're probably going to do one more rest and one more refuel until we're done. So let's get going. Oh, let's look up the next question before we go, so I don't have to do it while driving. The second question is kind of related to the first question about workouts and kind of my philosophy about it. The second question is it harder to stay in shape past 40, or do people just let themselves go? There's more text to this question, but the gist of it is that. Now, I can't speak for other people about who lets themselves go or why. I know a lot of people do. I know a lot of people don't. There are too many individuals in this world to give a broad answer to a question like that. Everyone has their reason. But biologically speaking, yes, I suppose it's harder. I don't know. I didn't used to think about it in my younger years, until I was 35 or something. That's when I noticed that I was getting older, like after 34, 35, somewhere that's where you can, as a guy, I suppose, or at least for me, that's when it really became apparent that, you know, changes were happening. You know, classic things like eyesight getting worse. I now have reading glasses, for instance. I've lately, just the last couple of months, I've started. So a couple months ago, or weeks or whatever, I got reading glasses. It was when I started playing Pokemon, because Pokemon cards got this tiny text that's a little hard to read. You know? So I got these reading glasses, and they were really nice. And since then, I've started thinking about maybe I need to get, you know, real glasses for. I do have, you know, I don't have perfect vision, so I really should get glasses. I don't need it yet. I know I will soon, because that's what happens when you're 35, 40-ish. You know, you start noticing these things. Like, I didn't have to think about how many hours I slept. I didn't have to think about in what positions I were at when I was working. I didn't have to think about, you know, ergonomics of things. Oh, look, cops pulled someone over. You gotta play the song for the cops. I'm sorry, we just have to. Hey, you know, kind of like, also when it comes to, you know, if you go out drinking, there are consequences to it. Now, I've never been like a huge, you know, party guy. Never, ever been. On any, you know, regular basis. But when I was younger, when I did, it wasn't really a problem. But then I turned 30, 31, 32. And fucking, if I go out, get hammered, the whole day afterward is gonna be just ruined. And the day after that is gonna be my, you know, hungover day. So it's 2 days that, it's gonna cost me 2 days to get hammered. Naturally, I'm not gonna do it as much. Especially, like, my kids can't afford me to just be out of it for 2 days. No, it's not gonna work. So I have to make changes. And I guess that's kind of where everyone has to choose. Like, are you going to make the changes that are required for your altered metabolism, for your altered energy levels? Do you want to go through what it takes to discipline yourself through the change? Because it's going to cost you.
Keep left.
And to some people, it is worth it. And to some people, it's just not. Cops are on fire today. Is it harder to stay in shape? I don't know. Is it harder to find the discipline to make the time and take the effort to do it? Yes. Yes, that's a lot harder. Let's take another question. This one has a lot of text to it, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna read the whole question. I'm just gonna read the title and make of it what I will. The question is, how do you handle it as a father? And man, how do I handle it? I am so fucking insecure as a father. Like, I don't know. I'm scared. And I feel alone. I was raised by absent narcissistic parents that focused on other things regarding themselves. I have had my fair share of mental abuse that for sure has scarred me as a person. I do, however, not dwell on it, and I have had my fair share of therapy and time to work through it and get stronger by it. It has been a hard-earned lesson that wasn't worth it. I do not wish it upon anybody. And as a parent, it has left me in a weird position because I know very well what not to do, but I have no fucking clue of what to do.
Keep right.
Judging from my kids, I am doing a good job, but they will have to be the ones who make the final call of how I did as a father. I am not secure enough to call myself a good father. I think I am doing well, but I am not sure because, like I said, I know a lot of things of what not to do, but I have no clue what to do. And how I handle that is yeah, how do you handle constantly being afraid? For my kids, that something's gonna happen to my kids, that I am going to miss something, that I'm going to do something wrong. That is something you just have to learn to live with, I suppose. If you think about it, I know a lot of people don't. Oh, that's nice, blue car. Blue car let me in. Let's all try to be more like blue car. Becoming a parent, I was very naive becoming a parent when I got when my daughter and my son was born. When you become a parent of a child, you are no longer the main character of your story.
Exit right.
And I think realizing that is what kind of separates the good from the bad in broad terms. If you realize that, you have a good chance of being a good parent. If you don't realize that, you are bound to make some grave mistakes, I feel. And my head wasn't in the game in the beginning. Like, we're talking first, I don't know. You would have to ask my wife, but thinking back of it, I don't feel like my head was in the game, at least for the first year or so. And I know that this is quite common. That guys are thinking about what it would mean, what it will mean to be a parent. Those thoughts come into your head when you have the child, when it's already there. Whereas women, for magic reasons, I don't know. To me, at least, they always seem to be so fucking prepared for everything, and I'm like, I was supposed to think about this beforehand. Like, how was I supposed to know that? But I have since gotten better. And I was also naive in... I thought that kids were these blank sheets of paper.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
That I, as a parent, will, fill in or whatever. I know it sounds ridiculous when I say it. It is ridiculous. It's a stupid thought. But it was the only thought that I had. Like, I don't know. But that changed the moment when my first kid was born, and I held her in my arms, and I was like, "Oh shit! This is a whole personality already." And I am still learning what it's like to be a parent, and I am still learning how to handle it. What I learned about myself is that I worry so much. My wife does not worry as much as I do, and I'm talking about the worry that's for no good reason worry, the non-constructive worry. But that's what I have. I feel like I should go here. Sorry. And how I handle it is by trying the best I can to not fuck up. Realizing when I'm doing something wrong and work as hard as I can to change that as fast as I can without holding on to, without any form of ego, without any form, and also not to feel too guilty. Like, I am a human. I am learning. I'm doing the best I can here. I could, of course, do better. Many people do better than I do. But, we work with the tools that we have. But I also gotta not take anything for granted.
Keep left.
And when it comes to the gist of the question, how you handle it, I think maybe it's like a classic case of learning to live with it. And with it, I mean the fear of everything. The constant worry, the insecurities, Like if you feel these things, it's gonna wear on you. And we go back to the saying that I can never quote correctly.
Keep right.
And that
then
is
exit right. Exit
having
right.
the strength to deal with the
Caution. Please watch the
things
speed.
that I can change. Having the patience to deal with the things that I can't change.
Keep right. And then
having the
exit
wisdom
right.
to tell those two apart.
Exit right. Caution. Please mind the speed limit. Caution. Please watch the speed limit. Caution. Please mind the speed limit. Keep left.
Mental strength is such a multifaceted area.
Caution. Please watch the speed limit.
Like you probably gathered by now, I have a lot of insecurities, and I have a lot of self-doubt. And I think that I don't think that sometimes it can be destructive. Like it can lead to self-hate, and I can be extremely hard on myself for no good reason. I never know that I am when I'm doing it, but thinking back on like how I have historically thought about myself, I know that I've been way too hard on myself. But I feel like I would much rather do that. The best thing would be to be perfectly balanced, of course, but I can't do that. I know I can't do that. But I am so afraid, like having grown up with narcissists, I am so afraid of being overconfident or too confident in myself and my values, how I think about things in life, other people, the truth of how I perceive things. Because I've seen how horrific it can be when it goes bad. Are these the Alps? Do you think this is the Alps? I think so. Those are some good-looking Alps, man.
Caution. Please mind the speed limit.
So yeah, next question.
Keep left.
Next question is, and I'm only going to do the title. I like to do the title and just, unless it's something really specific in the body of the text, I'll just do the title. It works well. Next question is, what would you do for the next 10 years if you were 30? And that is a great question. And I have no answer. I feel like I have been doing the right thing, and I'm very proud of that. Best thing I ever did was having kids. My daughter was born when I was 32. And if I could change, like, I've had my hardships in life. A lot of it has been external. You know, things that have happened to me that I never chose, you know, my parents. There are a lot of things that I would want to have been different for me before I was 30. That are externals that are out of my control. I wish that I could have had a better childhood. Everything that has happened to me has led me to a good place. I have been lucky, and I have been disciplined, and I have been skilled enough to make good use of the bad things that have happened in my life. And of course, good things have happened in my life. Many good things have happened to me. So I'm not by any means an unfortunate man. I had an unfortunate childhood. I wish that would have changed. I feel like, you know what, a lot of the things that I do, hard decisions that I make, I make them for me when I was 8 years old. I think about that. And it goes into the discipline. Like, I don't want to do the things that I have to do, but I'm doing it for the you know. When I went to I've been to a psychologist. It was a long time ago. I had issues before. Some of them I didn't get help for. Others I did. I got great help from a psychologist. And on our first session, I had this thing that I was like, this is the thing that is making me feel bad. And she's like, yeah, sure. Come on in, sit down. And I'm like, yeah, because I came here because of this thing that I know what it is. And that's making me, you know, broken. And she's like, yeah, sure. And then she brought one of those Russian babushka dolls or whatever that has a doll within a doll within a doll within a doll. And I was like, Jesus Christ, lady, don't tell me we're gonna take out a smaller and smaller doll and be like, this is the one we're gonna talk about. And what she did was she took out a smaller and smaller doll. She said, this is the one we're gonna talk about. And I was like, Jesus Christ, you know, like, this, I went through all this trouble to seek help. And this is what we do? And she was like, yeah, I know this. She was like, I know you. And I was like, no, you don't. And she was like, trust me, you know, I've been doing this for a long time. You know, I know this sounds weird, but just trust me for this thing. And then we do it, let's try it my way, and then we'll do it your way. And I was like, sure, I'll indulge you. And well, she was right, of course. She always is. I have completely lost her train of thought, but I'm gonna keep going. So, what she did was she gave me. She's one of the best things I've ever done was to go talk to that woman. She gave me a lot of tools to handle my brain and my thoughts. This feels like, are we gonna shout to the guy in the... Nah, let's step out. This has got to be the place where you're like, yeah, we want to go through the gate. Can you help us out? And it's like, yeah, security check in progress. They're honking behind me. Yeah, we're good. Let's go. I gotta read the question again. I even forgot what we're talking about here. I'm sorry. What would you do for the next 10 years if you were 30? I would do whatever I did. But I wouldn't be such a child about it, I think. We're entering Italia. Man, I want to go to Italy. And I want to go to Italy for a long time. I want to be 2 weeks in Italy. Just... What I wish I would have done, if I would ask myself, if I would rephrase, I would ask another question. And what I would do different if I was 20. That's where I feel like I wasted the most time. Because I was like in a position where I was basically idling through my 20s. And I don't think that's uncommon to be like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. I was just fucking finding something to do, just spend the time. That was a waste. I feel like I wasted so much time. I wish I would have gotten kids earlier because, you know, with hindsight, of course, and it's ridiculous, but. If I could give myself some advice, I'd be like, think about parenting earlier. That's it. And to really think about it and not just be like, yeah, sure, we'll get to that. That was kind of my, you know. Well, I guess I'm lying to myself now because I didn't want to get kids. And there's this whole reason for that too. How much time do we have left? We got 45 minutes. Okay, let's do the thing. I don't talk about this a lot because it's still hurtful to me, and it is what sent me into therapy. In a way. So, when I was in my 20s, I fell in love with this girl, this woman. And she had a kid from a previous, from previously. This was a not even 2-year-old girl. So we hooked up and they came to live with me. So all of a sudden I had this little 2-year-old in my house. And I've always I liked kids. And have you ever met a 2-year-old? It's the fucking cutest thing in the world. People talk about babies being cute. Fuck, man. A 2-year-old? That is just so sweet. Now, this
Keep
woman
careful.
that I was with, man, she was no good for me. We lived together for some time, and this little 2-year-old became like mine, and I was very very ready for that when I was very young. Like, um, I didn't question it at all. It was just natural. Just of course, like she is mine now. But that wasn't the best thing in the world because all of a sudden, out of the blue, just maybe it wasn't out of the blue, but it was out of the light gray. This woman leaves me, and I didn't have, custody of the kid. I had no right to meet her. So all of a sudden, this child was just out of my life, just like that. And it wasn't, I wasn't a biological father, and no one fucking cares about losing a child that's not yours because it wasn't yours in the first place. What do you care? But man, I fucking cared. To me, I still feel like I am the father of 3.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
Even though we talk about sad things, I still gotta honk at the cops. I'm sorry. So I was destroyed. Like I fucking died. Because I lost the kid, you know? And the fucking gaslighting of no one knowing what it's like to lose a kid that's not, that's not yours, because everyone is like, it wasn't yours. What do you know? So it was really hard to, all this input that I got was like, it wasn't your kid. Made it so much harder, I mean, it's bad enough to lose a kid, but the general consensus is like, yeah, well, at least it's not, it was your kid. I was like, but it was my kid. Shit, man, I lost her, I lost this entire life with this child. So, because of this, I was very, very afraid of getting kids, because I I associated with it with this the fear of the death that a child can bring to you. The pain, it's just undescribable. So I didn't want to get kids. And I told my wife this, and she was like, all right. She would have been fine with it. She was like, I want kids, you don't. And she's not gonna give me kids against my will. And she's not gonna leave me just because I don't want kids. So she was tolerant. She accepted that. But she kept working on it and was like, we kept talking about it. She brought it up. I was a big baby. And then she dropped it, and then she maybe brought it up again. Just to see, like, are you still a big baby? And I was like, yes. Yes, I am still a big baby. I refuse to be an adult. Because I have video games to focus on instead. And thankfully, this woman here, my beautiful, lovely wife, she has the patience of just... Her patience with me is a beautiful thing. But so she kept asking, and we kept talking about it, and all of a sudden we kind of like went at this from different angles, and I got more tools to use inside my head. And I was, you know, after a while I came to the conclusion that, you know, I've changed my mind. I want one kid. Let's get one kid, because I think I can handle one. And now I have two. So, so there's that. But the other person that changed my mind on this is, of course, my daughter. Because when she came to this world, I was like, she has so much kindness in her, like just like her mother, just like her brother. That it would be unfair to her to not let her have a sibling, and it would be unfair to my son to not let him have a sibling. So the changes that I wish I would have done, I wish I would have done them between my 20s and 30s, not between my 30s and 40s. I feel that I did an okay job between my 30s and 40s. It's time for the rest already. We got 796 kilometers to go. 11 hours and 24 minutes until we're there of in-game time. We need to rest in 1 hour and 41 minutes of in-game time. And it looks like we're coming up
right, and then
on a
right.
rest stop. The fuel is good. We don't need to refuel, so if we find a rest stop that doesn't have a fuel station, that is fine. If we find a fuel station that doesn't have a rest stop, we need to keep going.
Caution. Please mind the speed limit.
Now, real world time, it is 35 minutes estimated until we're there. I don't remember what the first estimate was, but I think it was wrong. I don't know how long we've been doing this. Only you know that. We got some fuel stations up ahead. Should be rest stops as well, hopefully. We are running short on time. Should have checked this out earlier. Let's take that with us until next time. Planning. Question is, do we exit north or do we keep going on the highway? I think we're good on the highway. An exit would be difficult. Especially since it would have to be here. There's no way to exit here. $45 left. And yeah, we're almost there. I think we're going to be fine. 1,000 meters until Servizio. I think Servizio has some resting potential. Yeah. Yeah, man, here we go. Look at this. Perfect. Just perfect. We even have time to spare.
Finding a new route. Turn right.
Imagine being on a rest stop on a highway in Italy in the summer. Now if we woke up here and had to go to the bathroom, I guess this would be the place. the middle of the fucking night. Yeah. Guess it'd be one of these doors, probably. This is a good-looking truck. And this car transport trailer, it's really growing on me. I will do that again for sure. I think next time it's time to do something else, but... That's here at that right. Car transport friend. Alright, let's get some more rest. Well, this wasn't super nice. But we work with what we have, not with what we want. 684 kilometers left to go. Alright, back on the highway, let's take another question. How do you deal with a coworker's inappropriate comments if they are inappropriate? Now, this is a question that could mean very different people. Very different things for very different people. Now, if you're a woman, this question probably means that coworker is saying something inappropriate in a romantic or sexual manner. That I don't think that has ever happened to me. Or, well, yeah, it has. On a couple occasions. But since I am a man, we just laugh it off. It's just fun. I honestly, I have never been offended by inappropriate suggestions or anything like that. I have not found it flattering. But I have not found it offending either. If that makes sense. It's fine. It's okay. Like, it doesn't bother me that much. I know, kind of. I don't take it personally. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. At one time, this woman said something inappropriate to me of a romantic or sexual nature. She was like almost caught off guard by herself. So she was like, "Oh my god, I could be fired for this." I was like, "Don't worry, it's you know, maybe I should have been harder on her. I don't know. It is two different, systems that men are judged by compared to women. And we perceive it in completely different manners, broadly, generally speaking. I have this idea that we can learn to be offended. That I'm not going to bring up now, but kind of that, if you make these ways that people act, if we make those into gigantic transgressions, you're gonna feel violated if that happens to you. I'm not saying we should tone down on extreme stuff, but maybe everything shouldn't be the extremist version of everything. I don't know. It's not a good. My thought isn't complete. I shouldn't have said anything really. Back to the matter at hand. So those kind of inappropriate things. I guess once it has happened to me in the one time that I told you about, where this woman said this inappropriate thing to me, and it was out of the blue, and it's just fucking still to this day. I'm like, what the where did that come from? I don't know. If she's like, if her mind just fucking leaked out of her mouth, or it was so weird. Such a weird thing to do. Such a weird thing to say. Anyway, the other times it has happened, has been from a client, and that's when it's problematic, because the power relationship is different. The other woman that I told you about, I was her client at the time. But all the other times it has happened, that I have noticed at least, I am notoriously bad at knowing when someone is, hitting on me or saying something with another meaning. I have this, maybe that's the topic for another time, maybe, that where I am on the autistic spectrum, because I'm on there somewhere. I'm just not sure where I am. Anyway, these other times that people have said inappropriate things to me in a romantic or sexual manner, they have been my clients, and or people that I provide the service to, so they are the ones that are paying, so to speak. That's more problematic. And the way I've handled it, unfortunately, I guess, is by either ignoring it, like kind of pretending I didn't hear what this person. Nothing. No, it hasn't been anything, wild. Just inappropriate things. Like, I won't go into examples, but inappropriate things. And the way I've handled it, unfortunately, like I said, is by ignoring it. I should have maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure. Maybe I should have said something. Maybe I shouldn't. At one point in my life, I worked as a photographer. And I am a man, so I had this job for these bankers. And this was in 2000, maybe 2014. Somewhere around that, 13, 14, 12, I don't know, somewhere around that time. And feminism was very prominent at that time. And it was an up-and-coming thing that warranted a lot of discussions and a lot of, big feminist movements. It was a great time. And I was a photographer for this event. And since I was there, my job was to photograph the event, the speakers, roundtable discussions, stuff like that. And the theme of the event was women in banking, basically, or something along those lines. So it was a female-only, event and crowd, where they were the ones that were paying for everything. The bank was paying for the event, and the bank was the host for the event. So they were basically, it was something along the lines of these women have done great progress within our sector, or whatever, something along those lines. Doesn't matter. All female crowd is all you need to know. Now, I was there as a photographer, and I was also lumped together with the service staff. So that's where I had my space to kind of keep my tools, do my behind the scenes stuff, whatever I need to set up, and also where I would hold when I was not supposed to be, out taking pictures. That was my waiting area. Now this staff, man, in a restaurant and serving, business can be foul-mouthed, but this was something else. Like, this was not good. And I mean, unfortunately, I tolerated to a point, but this was way beyond. Like, I was like, dude, like, the fuck? And they were like, lol, or whatever. So, I was like, what do I do? What do I do here? Because the client was a very good client of mine. We had a fantastic professional relationship to each other. She was great, and I miss her so much. And you could probably tell what happened, because I was talking to some of my friends about it. I was like, this was fucking, like, this was something else. Like, this, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I have this information about how this venue and its serving staff, talked about their clients. Like, how can you have this outlook on humans, on living? How can you have this outlook on something? It's fucking like, what the fuck? I was obviously upset. So I talked to, colleagues, friends. I was like,
Caution. Please watch the speed limit.
should I say something? I feel like I should say something. I think I'm going to say something. Should I not say something? And 100% of everyone I talked to was like, the right thing to do is to say something. Don't paint with an unnecessarily broad brush. Don't go into details. But absolutely share your experience with the client so that they know through and through what they're paying for. And that was the last time I ever talked to that client, because I told them, and does it count when on the other side of the road? Yeah, it fucking counts when they're on the other side. Of course it counts. They pulled over a Lamborghini. Of course it counts. So I told them, I was like, objectively, this is thank you for the last job. It was like we in our evaluation afterwards, when I had handed over my work, they were happy with it. They paid, and we were like, yeah, thank you for this. It was great. And by the way, I can't drop this experience that I had with the venue that you used. It was a very nice venue. So I shared, like, I heard things in a manner that was of a caliber that I couldn't, that is just, I feel like I need to share this with you. Basically, didn't go into details, but absolutely share that there was a problem. And that was the last I heard of that client. They never hired me again. Going from regularly hiring me, and then after this, they never hired me again. So I don't know. Should you say something? I don't fucking know, man. No. You shouldn't. Yes, you should. There is no clear-cut answer to this. With that in mind, whenever afterwards anyone has said anything to me that was inappropriate, and it was nowhere near this, but whenever they did, I just ignored it, basically. It hasn't bothered me personally, except that I feel like on a by principle, it shouldn't happen. And I've died on hills because of principle earlier, but I don't know, I've never died on this hill. When it's directed to me, I would probably die on that hill if it were directed to someone else. When I was working with a colleague of mine, who is a woman, she of course has heard so many comments that you just wouldn't have had the time to listen to it all. It's just so much. Anyway, when I worked with her, whenever she got a comment, I did not ignore it. I said something, and that was perfectly fine. It wasn't a client. I think I would have said something even if it was a client. This was like with other work groups. She's an electrician as well. So for instance, when a plumber or some other work group comes in and says something inappropriate, we deal with it. And I think I would do the same thing if it was directed towards one of my male colleagues or friends. But when it's directed to me, I don't know. I haven't reacted. Maybe I should have. But then there are other inappropriate comments that are directed to someone who's not in the room. I am talking about racial slurs, degradation of women, and stuff like that. And that is a hard thing to... It's sad when it happens because it puts you in a tough spot. You either ignore it and therefore condone it, or you stand up against it and therefore risk conflict. I'm not afraid of conflict, especially not conflict with dirtbag trash humans. I don't start a fight, but I don't leave it without a reaction. Now, I am strong enough and confident enough in myself to know that I'm not afraid of any consequences that'll come by me taking the fight. If I were to because if I were to just let it slide,
Keep right.
just what would that make me? You know? And it has led to some setbacks, of course. But that's the price of trying to make the world what you want it to be with the limited tools you have. What I have noticed is that depending on the degree of the inappropriate comment that people say, what works the best is normally to try to not, degrade the person that's saying it. For instance, I have a guy at my work.
Caution. Please mind the speed limit.
And he was just using the wrong words. So it's basically semantics. A guy called, he was in a leadership position. A guy called our workplace and asked for a job. And he was an Arab with a very typical Arab name and a very typical Arab sounding accent. And this guy in a leadership position took the call. I could hear both sides of the call. And he said, no, unfortunately, we don't need any more people at this time, but thank you for calling. Then he hung up the phone.
Caution. Please watch the speed limit.
And he said, and this is so interesting to me, he said, man, I'm paraphrasing, he said, it is a shame that we're not hiring because we could use more, insert racial slur, here at this place. And I was like, that is so interesting because the words he's using are obviously extremely problematic, like super duper. It was not, but it was the equivalent of the N-word. In Swedish, of course, we don't have any. It wasn't that, but it was the equivalent of it for a person for an Arab. And you can look at it from two different ways. You can either see that he has, that he's a racist. And just because he used the wrong word. But on the other hand, he felt bad that he couldn't take this guy in because he was of another ethnicity than everyone else, and that would be a good thing to mix it up with, you know, to be more inclusive. It's such an interesting case of like, is he wrong or right? If you need to boil it down to wrong or right. Of course he's right, but he used the very, very, very wrong words. Now, for the most part, what I have noticed works best is to not try to degrade the person that you're reacting to. And not start World War III over a small conflict. Win the battle. Don't start a war. You know? By commenting, like, try to phrase it kindly, like, oh man, we gotta, you know, oh, don't do that, we gotta be better than that. Because normally that helps them to stop. You know, it doesn't feel as good because you want to, you know, pull your fucking lance or whatever in your shining armor and be a hero, but what you want in the long run is change, and change does not come by people feeling degraded, even though it would feel fucking good to degrade them sometimes. Sometimes maybe you can't stop yourself, you know? But for the most part, man, you should. Try to treat everyone with respect, you know? Even though it fucking sucks. And they don't. If you want to see change, you have to.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Exit now. Go straight on.
Yeah, you know what they say about Italian drivers. Or do they? I got a good memory of this. I did some delivery here, in here, I think. You have this place here on the map. Or it really reminds me of Gothenburg in Sweden. I'm not sure. But I had fun here. Yeah, I think it was, yeah, I think I had a... Sometimes I play this and I have my gamer friends in the Discord chat, voice chat. And we had some fun conversations along the way. That's very nice. That's my. I like to do two things. There are three ways that I play Euro Truck Simulator. One way is, of course, this, where I journal my diary,
Keep right.
which is great. And the second way to play is, of course, by myself, just listening to music. And the third is with my friends in the voice chat. And that's really nice. We could just kill a whole night just talking. I play this, they play something else.
Keep left.
Doesn't matter. Sometimes I stream what I do to them. But that's a bit much to ask for someone to watch me play. Right? Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right. Keep right. Caution. Please mind the speed limit.
We're almost there.
Keep left.
I think it's less than a minute. Time just flies, doesn't it? It does for me, at least. It's like whole afternoon, just...
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right. Get ready to turn right. Caution. Please watch the speed limit. Turn right, and then turn right. Turn right.
This is our spot. Out to the Alonso. Maybe it's what's the name of the race driver? Fernando Alonso. That's my guy. Oh no. Trailer damage. This trailer is a little... It's got very much overhang. So that if I don't account for that, I will hit the trailer on stuff. And that's not good. we're here. Let's unload. Take a look at some stats. 2,269 kilometers. We spent 27.8 liters per 100. I know we can do better than this, especially with cargo this light. So this is not great. Got 2% damage. That's not often, but there was a crash. Trailer got T-boned, leaving the fuel station, and then I hit the trailer going into the delivery point just at the end of it. So not great. It took 2 hours and 1 minute to do this. Thank you for your patience. I went from London to Taranto in our gorgeous, beautiful, fantastic white Scania S. Odometer is at 214,502, so we're coming up at 222,222. We need to celebrate that with another jar of Nutella. What do you say? We took cars, 6 tons of it. Not very heavy. Planned was 2,143. Real was 2,269, so we're actually pretty close to the plan of the real distance this time. There was a transport. That was the tunnel. Toll gate's got to be France-ish. And then we had the collision. That was the T-bone. You got a fine for an accident. 319. Oh, that's the same. Well, sure, we'll pay for that, I guess. Toll gate and then toll gate. Income was 109,883 credits. Taxes 16,000. Other costs, well, all this 948. Fuel cost was 1,035. Damage was an even 1,000. So the revenue was 90,416. Not too bad. It's quite good. So that's it for today. Thank you again for taking the time with this. I enjoy recording this. I hope you enjoy watching it. And remember to take care of yourself. See you next time. Bye.